Hello, welcome back to Spidey's webcast. This is my second webcast, and as you can see, things are looking pretty good in the apartment. But tonight we're going to review two different movies tonight. What we're going to review tonight is Rob Zombie's unrated version of Halloween and his Halloween 2 sequel. Now, let me first start by saying that I hated these movies. It's just let me talk about John Carpenter's movies. I thought those movies are actually much better, even though they're dated from the late 70s and the 80s and the 90s and stuff. But I still think they're much better, more atmospheric and stuff, and just more fun and creepy. Now these movies, on the other hand, that Rob did recently in the last 2007 and whatever 2005. I feel like these movies are just over the top, bloody, everybody can see these okay? Gory, and cruel and heartless. Now, I understand there's people out there who are going to dispute this and say, well, they're supposed to be like this. Michael Myers is supposed to be brutal and vicious, and that's his nature. He's a cold-blooded, satanic killer. True, but, I think Rob could have maybe possibly toned down the violence just a little bit. I mean, it's very cruel in spots, very cruel. I mean, the performances are nice and everything, and the photography's nice. Everything's nice. I mean, they're well-made movies, but I dispute people who say these are classics. I think these are horrible movies. I mean, out of 10, I might give them a 4, each of them a 4. I thought the second one was actually a little bit better than the first one. But I really think that if you really watch these movies, I didn't really think these were really well done. I just think they were just terrible. I mean, I felt so bad for the girl, her family, and her friends around her neighborhood and stuff like that. I mean, it was brutal killings, basically just nonstop stabbing, hacking, slashing. Like you could hear him grunting too every time he was hacking somebody to death, which really upset me a lot. It's like, my God, tone that down a little bit. I don't mind. I grew up with horror movies. Spidey grew up with horror movies. I grew up with all kinds of movies, from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, up to today. I like a lot of movies. I prefer horror movies for most of my viewing, of course. But, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on these particular 2 movies. Now, let's see. Let's start with number 1. They're both unrated, of course. Unrated. And I really think that Michael Myers, he's too big in this movie. He's huge. This guy's like 7 foot tall. I think Taylor Maine plays the lead character, Michael Myers, and I really believe that. I mean, he doesn't say anything, so I mean, he did a decent job playing the character. But I really believe that, these movies are just a little too cruel for my taste. I know like I said, a lot of people are going to dispute this. They're going to say they're supposed to be brutal, woo, and they're supposed to be bloody, woo. And they're supposed to be vicious and mean, but these movies just go too far. I think they just go too far. I think they could have maybe toned them down just a teeny bit. He doesn't have. I mean, I'm not saying that Rob Zombie doesn't make decent movies. He's trying to be a movie director in Hollywood. I give him credit for that. He's a well-known musician, as we all know. Rob Zombie and White Zombie, his other band when he first started, stuff like that. I think that was the name of it. But yeah, I was never really a big Rob Zombie fan. I mean, we all heard his songs over the last 10, 15, 20 years. Some of them are kind of cool. I really think that he should stick to music. I mean, I have nothing against Rob Zombie in general. He seems like he's sincere about what he does, and stuff like that. But I just think that somebody else could have handled these movies just a little bit better. I know they're doing another rehash of Halloween. I don't think Rob Zombie's involved in that one. Thank goodness. That's my view. I know a lot of people are going to scream at me for these views, but, oh, Brad, I mean, Spidey, you just don't understand these movies. They're supposed to be like this, I say, bullshit, It's like, come on, man. You don't want little kids to see these movies. You do not want little kids to see these movies. These are really unrated for a reason because they are vicious, mean, cold, and bloody and gory, and senseless violence. You know, Malcolm McDowell is pretty decent in it. You know, as a his psychiatrist, you know, in the first one. Then he moves on to a book author, you know, talking about Michael Myers, you know, and stuff like that. And so basically, you know, I mean, the performances are good. You know, I'm not saying the actors actually did a pretty good job in this movie. Everything was very realistic. The bloody, the killings, the everything, you know, was well done. But I just believe that all the performances were well done, and I didn't like the music either. I think it would have been better if Rob Zombie would have strayed away some of the rock music and just had it all atmospheric, creepy music, sort of like John Carpenter's movies did. You know, not heavy blasting metal music in the background, like, you know, stuff like that, but more atmospheric stuff. Maybe would have led to a little bit more creepier type movie instead of just a brutal killing machine, you know, out to avenge his, and you know, the guy was insane. You know, I mean, how could anybody just do shit like that? You know, I certainly hope that. I'm sure there's people like that in the world that do stuff like that. Thank God, I don't know who they are. I wouldn't want to know. They need to be in prison for the rest of their lives. But I just wanted to put my 2 cents on these views on these two particular movies, and I'm going to be doing these reviews on a regular basis. Like I said, out of 10 stars, I would probably give these, maybe, I said 5 earlier, maybe a 4 at the very most. A 4 for the first one and maybe a 3.5 for the second one. You know, second one, well, whatever. I think y'all can see what's going on here. But I'm going to be doing other movie reviews, things that I like, you know, other movies that I think are worthwhile. These two movies I don't have to ever see again. I think once is enough. They're both unrated, like I said before, and once is enough. Unless you really like senseless violence and love this kind of stuff in your collection, buy these. But for me, I'm going to sell them. I'm going to get rid of them. They're not going to stay in my collection because I think they're terribly done, you know, when it comes to this type of stuff. There's better directors out there. There's better people who maybe can tone this stuff down. Hopefully in the next installment of Halloween, we'll have somebody else directing it, which I think is going to happen. And basically they will maybe do a little bit better job. You know, maybe the violence won't be quite as bad. You know, I'm part of a lot of different groups, horror groups, you know, and I complained about these movies recently on a social media site, which I should say. And a lot of people, about half of them agreed with me. The other half basically, you know, just was calling me a pussy and everything, you know, and calling me a little weenie because I didn't like all the gore and the horror and the senseless killing, you know, and the over-the-top destruction, you know, but I just know where to draw the line. If I was the director, I would have just toned him down a little bit. I don't mind some violence and gore in the movies. That's fine. That's got to be in there. That's what it's all about. But these particular two movies just go way over the top and way too much. I mean, I can't be more adamant about that, you know. But I'm going to be doing some more movie reviews of other movies coming up. So, but here's a good shot of them. So, you know, in case people want to see what they look like. I'm sure you all know what they look like. You know, horror fans, you know, stuff like that. So, but anyway, I am going to leave you now, but I just want to post your comments and tell me what you think. And I'm in my little web slinging room, my web room, as I call it, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, like I said, I'm just an average superhero who just likes to have some free time, downtime, and watch movies and build my model kits in the back, you know, and stuff like that. But I'm sure we're going to get a lot of nasty comments on this review of both these Rob Zombie movies. You know, I respect the guy, but, you know, he should maybe learn his craft a little bit better. You know, I'm sure he's got a really dark mind, you know, and he's all wound up in the underworld and the darkness of the world, you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, he's just loony. Of course, a lot of people call me loony, but, you know, that's okay. But maybe I am. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to be back pretty soon with a third installment. of different movie reviews. I'll find some really good movie reviews for you. And we'll see what happens. So until next time, take care.